here we go. This is my story. 30 years in residential construction. I'm going to I did put some notes down because there's a lot to this. So for 30 years, I built my life, okay, inside the rugged competitive world of construction, all right? A field dominated by egos, elbows, and endless power struggles, male and female, okay? I didn't rise by playing politics. I didn't care for that, okay? I rose by doing great work. I kept my head down for 30 years. I didn't crave the corner office, all right? I just worked. And I craved craftsmanship, customer satisfaction, okay, and honest leadership. But despite my loyalty and excellence, there was always one guy gunning for me. One guy or one female. I don't know what it was, but I always had somebody coming after me. I don't know. Maybe I did so well, and they didn't. I have no idea why it happened at every place I worked. I had to either leave, deal with it, okay? We're talking emotional abuse, we're talking mental abuse, narcissism, and at one place, physical abuse. It's sad. It's very sad. For 30 years, I went through that. And until one day, I almost didn't make it home. I had come 2 feet from hitting pedestrians walking across the street because I was in such an anxiety mode because I was headed back to the office. And this was a very toxic environment I was headed back to. I could have killed those 2 people. My life would have been over. And then I sat and said, oh my gosh, I had a half-hour ride back to the office and I went, and I shook the whole way. And I went, oh my God, my life could have been over. My life could have been over. And I could have killed those people. All because of what? I'm not curing cancer. Why am I so anxious? I'm panic attacking every day. So I got back to the office, had to go into a meeting, and more drama. Terrible, terrible drama. And then I said, you know what? I'm done. I can't work with you people anymore. Now, mind you, almost every place I had gone to, some way, shape, or form, that happened. So, but there was also a redemption after I had left the place. There was also a redemption. I would always get a phone call from the previous company from somebody that I was a friend there with or whatever. And they said, oh, you'll never guess. Man, they fired this guy. The guy that hurt me. They fired him, man. They realized that he wasn't doing his job. You were doing it. Da, da, da. Oh my God, they redeemed you today. Da, da, da. Too late, right? I went through all that anxiety. The last place I worked, it was so bad. I did not realize it was a culmination of 30 years, and the last place was so bad. I went on to open up my own custom construction company. It was the second time in my life I'd done that. And I realized that every time I worked for myself, both construction companies, I broke the 6-figure barrier. I broke it. And I'm like, wow, every time I work for myself, I break this. And I'm at peace because there's no drama. It's calm. I can control it, right? So before I opened that construction company, though, I was working for a company and somebody's phone rang, and it was the same ringtone as the previous owner of the job I left. And that sent me right downhill. I went into such a bad panic attack, I had to go home. Today, that was 7 years ago. Today, I am still reeling from that anxiety. I have scars on my arms to prove it because I had a disorder, an anxiety disorder. I truly believe it affected my personal life. I've never been married, never had kids. Not that I didn't want to, but when you work for 30 years in an industry with guys, having to constantly prove yourself and not make the money that they were making, man, that wears on you. That really wears on you. But here's the turning point. I found my hero in the owner of East Stage and 4%. And I said, oh my gosh, I can take that 30 years of knowledge and I can actually make an awesome company online, providing courses to people so they know how to navigate the custom home building process and never get hurt. That was my biggest mission in my life. I took care of customers. I wanted to make sure that they did not get hurt. Now, that was truly up to the customers, right? Even the ones that I dealt with, you got to have a good attitude. You got to understand. And I always gave expectations. But when I took a year off after I closed my other company down, but when I saw what I could do in the digital marketing space with the 30 years, I'll tell you this too. I knew that all the abuse, all the mentalness, all the craziness, the hard work I put in, my builder's licenses, my certified graduate builder license, my OSHA licenses, everything I've ever done, I knew it was for a reason. I kept telling myself, just keep plowing through. Just keep plowing through. There's something special that's going to transpire later on. Now here we are. So that is my story. I am fine, still resonating with the anxiety each day. It has been tough. I can tell you that, but I'm proud of myself to own my own successful construction company twice, be in demand to build custom homes for people. You got to see through all the crap and see yourself and know that you have a master plan. Put your head down. If it's too much, too raw, too real, then build. Build in the calm of night. Take the scars and turn them into strategy, right? Take the trauma and turn it into tenacity. Take the rejection and turn it into revenue. That is my manifesto. I'm sure you could have probably resonated because it was a lot of pain. But that's my story. And here I am today, teaching you fine people. I love it. I love what I do. And you know what? The past is the past. You got to let it go, and you got to trudge forward and make your own journey. You got to keep pressing forward no matter what. And by all means, I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry for me. I tell you what, if I passed away tomorrow, I've lived a great life. Regardless of all the abuse, I've lived a great life and I've done great things. And you know what? I'm going to continue to do great things, and I'm going to do them with you. So that's my story. Thanks for listening. All right, on to the next guy.